Hello, everyone. This is Beyond Heroes, episode 2 of Wildemount. It is an entire season where we will be spending time in the world that Matthew Mercer created from Critical Role on the continent of Wildemount. It's really exciting. It's a wonderful world, and it's a book that's available for pre-order right now on D&D Beyond. But it is I've spent an incredible amount of time with this book, and it is awesome. Everything about it is awesome. I'm excited for the spells, the subclasses, and also like the really deep dive into the lore of that world. And that's what this show is about. So yeah, we're joined by an amazing cast of characters. We got TJ Storm, who's playing the Eladrin, known as Keen Deapreth. We've got Lauren Urban, who is playing a Dragonborn with wings, named Orkira Eldritch. We have Hope LaVelle playing Penelope Half Pint. If you're not picking up on the last name, she's a halfling and an adorable, hopeful one at that. We have Adam Bradford playing Briv Steelmarrow. He is a half-orc and has a propensity for spitting on things. We've got B. Dave Walters playing Freely, who is also a half-elf, who apparently doesn't know what
excuse me.
Sorry, halfling.
So offensive.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
I just figured, okay, B. Dave, I just figured that maybe you had somehow multi-classed into half-elf as well.
Okay, I'm a halfling, but because it's me, it's the size of a half-elf. That's how that works out. Yeah.
If anyone could figure that out, it would be Freely.
Challenge accepted.
First edition rules.
The other half was giant.
Elf was a class, so I'm not gonna say I was wrong.
True.
I'm not going to.
Valid.
And of course, we have Jennifer Kretchmer playing Alyndra Sarrbarand, a daughter of Oblivion, and a few 100 billion other things. A very tall, pale elf wizard. And that's our group. That's our gang. This is our group of heroes in the world of Wildemount. And I think that's all the introductions that we need. Oh, we do have some art from people who saw our first episode already. So we have fan art, which is really exciting. Let's show some of that.
Hey!
This is so amazing art. And who's the artist again for this?
Very
Penelope.
small.
Oh my gosh.
It's listed right there on the Twitter handle is listed right there on. Yes.
Wow.
Go there. Tell them how awesome they are.
I will read it properly when we come back from break to make sure we say
That's
it right.
amazing.
So what
good.
is so based on the scale we have here, so where would Penelope, if she was standing right next to Freely, where would she actually come up to?
Probably up to his shoulders.
Yeah, because Penelope is small for a halfling and Freely is tall for a halfling.
Yeah.
So we're kind of the edges of the spectrum.
Just trying to put the picture in everyone's minds there.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Freely had that ent juice.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's it. He drank a lot of milk growing up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think there's anything else to talk about right now, so I think we should just get on with the show. So this is our second episode of Beyond Heroes Wild.
I have the name. Oh, am I too late? It's Cheneviv M.I. Cheneviv M.I.
Thank you.
Cheneviv M.I.
Amazing.
Okay.
So
Let's go ahead and check out our intro.
Into the unknown we go, where we will land, we just don't know, where we will fight on and on and on, no matter what, we will rise with the dawn. Out of the ashes and beyond the night, beyond the masses and into the light, beyond all time in this adventure we chose. We will never give up. We are beyond heroes, beyond heroes.
Previously on Beyond Heroes, on episode 1, our adventurers found themselves almost with complete amnesia as they were surrounding something that wasn't even there, on the city streets of Rexentrum, a city they have never been on in a world they have never been to. And below them was this ring of ice completely underneath them, and Keen Deapreth's large glaive had blood trickling off the blade at the same time. Orkira Eldritch, the Dragonborn's hand was sticking out, and as diamond dust dissipated off of her hand, clearly some type of battle was ensuing, but you have no memory of what that battle was or how you ended up on these city streets. And Freely was even hanging off a sign slightly on fire. And you found yourselves not entirely knowing who you were or what you were doing there. But slowly as time went by, you started realizing each other's names and that you were a group of adventurers that have spent some time together. After that, however, loud bangs and explosions started happening all around the city of Rexentrum. It sounded like there has been some kind of incursion. When you went to investigate, you saw many strange sights. You saw a giant flying eagle. You saw a man falling from the sky. Penelope Halfpint turned into a giant eagle as well and flew up into the sky, and Griffin riders had to force her down to the ground. And after a lengthy explanation from her and Freely, they decided not to really interrogate. That it was not worth it in the midst of this battle. As you wandered the city streets, as everyone in the city of over 200,000 people are panicking, a giant purple worm erupted out of the ground with 3 dark elves, 3 drow on the top of that purple worm, and a fight began between our heroes and these drow. The wizard was felled, much to the horror and sadness of Toma, this dark elf knight who gave up the fight immediately seeing his brother die. And now he clearly bent on revenge against King Deapreth for that. Alyndra Sarrbarand actually banished one of the other dark elves along with a giant purple worm, and that dark elf reappeared moments before the end of the last episode, chasing down our heroes and causing extreme amounts of damage to Freely as it stuck its giant thorn right through his chest. And now our brave adventurers are running through an alleyway as a gargantuan purple worm, like a subway train going right through a building, is just pushing through these 2 buildings and pushing them apart, and bricks and mortar and cobblestones are flying in the air as this giant gaping maw is behind you in this alleyway, and there's only one way out. What are you doing?
Well, Penelope has pulled out the great white staff given to her by the tree, and she slams it down and says, "No," and casts Wall of Thorns in front of them to protect her friends from the worm.
And everyone is still running as this is happening?
I would be running over to Keen and saying, "Give me the body, give me the body, give me the body."
Give her the body.
Briv spent, like, if he hears Penelope begin to say anything like that, Briv is just going to spin and stay with her, like, as she's doing this. He's not necessarily running. He doesn't want to lose the group, but he's cautiously moving backwards, observing what Penelope does.
And who has the dark elf wizard named Rasvan, the brother to Toma, who's chasing you down right now?
Well, it was Keen, but that's what I'm running over to grab.
Okay, so Keen is holding the dead body of this wizard that he felled.
Do we each have an action currently?
You all were taking the action of running the heck away. So we are starting with Penelope Halfpint, and go ahead and roll your damage, because the purple worm immediately does not stop, not phased by seeing a giant wall of thorns. It just bursts through the wall of thorns, and you see all of these micro tears all over its purple skin, and this yellowish, blackish blood starts pouring out of the sides of it as it single-mindedly is burrowing right towards you between these 2 buildings, and you can hear the wood timbers in the buildings around you kind of lean and crack and snap, and if you look up, you kind of see the gap that you see between the 2 buildings widen as this purple worm is pushing itself between the 2 of them. It is something nightmarish to see, and you almost feel like you're off center.
So the worm will take 7d8 damage from when the thorns went up, and then it'll take another 7d8 damage for walking through it. So that's 14d8 damage, and I want everyone to hear what it sounds like to roll that many dice.
That's also what the worm sounds like coming across the ground.
Oh, it's a good noise.
But I already did
ASMR, everybody. It's 100
But I did the damage
148.
already because I'm not doing that
Satisfying.
math on screen. Okay, so the math of that was 76 points of piercing damage.
That's amazing.
It was a total of 148.
Wait, really?
No, is that what you said?
No,
sorry.
76 total.
76.
I was like,
okay,
yes,
okay.
please.
The DM says so.
Yeah. All right, that is an incredible amount of damage. If anyone thinks druids aren't powerful, well, you're wrong. So
Is the worm still up?
yeah, the worm is definitely still up. And it's
Can I
fairly
see
phased.
Toma?
Yeah, Toma is
I'm gonna
right up
message.
above. It's about 3 stories up, and he's there with the other wizard as well.
I'm gonna message Toma the message spell so he can hear me in his mind, just mind to mind.
Okay.
And I guess I would do it with my left hand because I'm basically clutching my sword to the point my knuckles are turning white. If you ever want to see your brother again, call this thing off and fall back.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm actually kind
In
of
your message.
May I use guidance to assist that?
Is message that you say out loud? Will you even know that?
I mean, she would see me point. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can go ahead and
I
do
would
that.
know
Yeah,
what
go ahead.
the spell is, but you know, I probably would not know exactly what I was aiding. So
That's true. He could be saying anything.
That
I
is
will,
a
I will
30.
retract my guidance.
30, 30.
30. Wow.
It's kind of persuasive.
I'm charisma based.
Yeah.
Just a little bit charming.
If
Yeah,
that
we go
aligns
for-
with the tables and the Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide, that seems like you just pulled off something impossible.
We should go to Milliways after this.
There's only one
Grateful.
dungeon master, everyone.
That's the problem when you run
But
a
he
group
did.
of
He's wrong.
DMs.
He's not wrong.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
you seemingly have talked down Toma, whose face is like just hard lines, and you can see the veins popping out of his neck, filled with rage. Meanly staring at Keen, hears your words. And you can see him visibly try to calm himself down, but he's still almost like predatory. He's almost like a wolf pacing back and forth on the top of the building. And you hear him utter a strange word in Undercommon, and it booms as he does so, unnaturally so. And the purple worm stops.
I do say out loud, I told him to back off if he wanted to see his brother again.
All right, so give me the body. Give me the body.
At the same moment, you feel this hot, fetid breath coming out of the purple worm as it's just, you see Penelope half pint, and the purple worm just stops inches from Penelope, just grinding up stones and everything else as Penelope just stares at dead-eyed, and now it's just breathing heavily, and her hair every few seconds flaps back. And then flaps back again with every breath, and gets sucked back in, and then flaps back again.
Moist.
I'm gonna reach into
It's
my
humid.
pack. It's okay. In a little bit, they're gonna be friends. I'm gonna reach into my pack. I'm gonna, for the second time today, pull out a diamond. And
You reach into your pack, and you are missing a diamond.
but I still, yeah. Orkira has that moment where she rummages around and realizes she only has 2, and she should have 3.
Well, and one was burnt up, correct? So do you still have 2? Because a diamond, when we started the adventure, one of those diamonds had been used.
Oh, it was one of those diamonds.
Yes.
I don't think even Orkira knows that, and I didn't know that either. Okay, so
Been a
she's
busy
still
morning.
good. Yeah, she's gonna grab it. She'll have the moment in where she thinks back to the guy they met in the alleyway, and she's going to think to herself, "Oh, well, I guess he probably trusted someone else to do that spell. Oh well," and she will still grab the diamond, and she's gonna hug this body. And as she's flying up to where the 3 drow are, she's going to cast Revivify on the brother and bring him back to life.
You'll have to put the body down. I think it'll be hard to revivify while you're flying.
Okay, then I'll do that before I
It'll
fly.
be
Then I'll-
it'll be awkward for you to do so without some kind of strength check. So you fly up to Toma and the
Well,
other dark elf wizard.
I would do the Revivify first, then like as he's coming back to consciousness, pick him up, fly him up, and hold him out to his brother as he's coming back. So I'm arriving with an alive person,
Okay.
not a dead body.
Well, that's nice. It is pouring rain, and you even hear thunder in the distance. It may be actual fireball spells going off. You're not quite sure, but clearly some kind of magical battle is happening all around the city. And I need perception checks from everyone who's in the alleyway.
And when I go to hand over his brother, I
20.
will.
Hey.
That's our first 20. Everyone, if you're
yeah.
not familiar with D&D Beyond Heroes, every time we roll a natural 20, that means someone in our audience wins a legendary bundle on D&D Beyond. That includes all of the D&D books, all of them in 5th edition. So it is a huge prize.
Big thing.
It is a big deal. So
when
So many books.
when the Wildemount
many
book comes
tools.
out, will it be included in there? When
It
it
will
comes
be.
out?
that's
It will
correct.
be?
I believe so.
If
There
they
you go.
win, if they win it today, it will not be.
I mean,
yeah,
eventually.
but
When
they'll
it
be
upon
it'll
release.
still be in there. Yes.
Upon
But
There will be a
yes.
discount.
Yes.
There will. So
That's
yeah,
a big
I'm
old 10 for me.
Okay. Linda Sarrbarand, you might be in awe of whatever Penelope Halfpine has just managed to do with the Wall of Thorns.
That was quite
All of you did
impressive.
have to kind of
Big
duck
thinking.
as the Wall of Thorns exploded everywhere and just like shards of it went left and right of everyone. But Penelope just exercised a tremendous amount of bravery. But when you look at the other side of the alleyway, you see several of the Crown's Guard of Rexentrum marshaling with crossbows, and they are all staring at all of you, winding their crossbows up. And one of them is also dressed in arcane robes, and there's about 20 or 30 of them. They've clearly been drawn by the eruption of this purple worm.
Well, this is not very. There are. Do you all see the guard there? Let's buy some time. Hypnotic pattern up above them.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Orkira Eldrix, you take out the diamond. How expensive is this diamond? What is the price value of this thing?
So this one, all the diamonds I have are 500 gold piece diamonds. So I just grab the one I have left to do this, and Revivify just takes an action. So that's the first thing I do.
All right, with seconds to spare, you cast Revivify on the body of Rasvan, and all the wounds caused by Keen Deapreth, as well as the rest of the party, erupt with fire. And his whole body is consumed for a second in fire, just wrapping around him, not flicking away from the body, just swirling around it in orange, kind of Halloween orange and chimney red flames for a second. And the fires suck back into his body, and all of his wounds are gone. And Rasvan starts breathing.
Yep. And then we're going to go for a flight, and I'm going to go up to his brother and hold him out and say, "We're not from here. We don't know what this fight is. You attacked us. Here's your brother back. Let's just go our separate ways, okay?"
What is your name?
Orkira, why?
Why are you here?
I don't know. We've been trying to figure that out when your pet purple worm decided to make our lives difficult.
You are very nervous, but Dragonborn.
There's a giant purple worm and a bunch of guards and all of you. Why wouldn't I be nervous?
That is a fair assessment, I suppose.
Would you just take your brother and your purple worm and go away? And we'll go away and we'll call it even?
He leans down to his brother, who is still coming to consciousness and still clearly semi-wounded because of the act of being revivified is not a subtle or painless thing. And he checks his pulse. He checks his vitals. Why did you do this?
Because it seemed like the right thing to do. As I said, we don't know who you are. We don't know who anybody is. You attacked us. We defended ourselves, but we kind of feel bad. So here.
You felt that this was the right thing to do. Then
Yeah,
you
death
are
is usually-
clearly not of the Duelendian Empire.
The what?
You are very far from home.
Yeah, that's been true for a very long time.
You are in the Duendalian Empire in Rexentrum, the capital of this empire.
Okay. Why are you here?
Because we are on the edge of war.
Well, can I make a suggestion? This, and she'll point to the brother who only has 1 hit point. It didn't heal him totally, just brought him back to life. This is going to happen a lot if you go to war. So if that's going to be a problem, maybe don't go to war. I mean, I don't know what's going on between all of you, and I'm just going to go back to my friends and try to keep everybody alive.
I need a persuasion check from you.
I don't know if it's a persuasion check as much as she's just rambling at this point. But
yeah. It's a little column A, a little column B.
She's freaked out right now, but I did roll a 17.
Oh, you rolled it.
Nice.
He gets tense when you say, I don't know, like when you start trying to explain to him about war. He gets noticeably tense. I thank you for your time. And he takes off this silver ring with a crimson gem in it, and he hands it to you.
What's this?
A favor, should you need one.
All right, sure.
You and your friends may go.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna go very quick. You're gonna take the purple worm with you, right?
We will join the rest of the battle.
It's not really the same, but whatever. Okay, and she'll fly back on down.
What is everyone else doing?
Is it possible to physically? I know you said the purple worm was kind of forcing its way through the buildings, but once it calmed, did it contract enough to squeeze past it? Now that it's not actively to go past the worm away from the
No,
crossbow
most definitely
people?
not. It is in there. It's going to start undulate. You see it start to undulate back, but it's going to take a while for it to back up.
Are there any doors or anything on the sides of these buildings, just a way to get out of the immediate line of fire?
Yeah, there are doors, and you start hearing screams from the Crown's Guard.
I'm like,
they're here. Get ready to open fire.
Briv, open the door. Briv, the door. I'm like frantically kicking at the near.
Did we see the hypnotic pattern go off?
Yeah.
Everyone was
What's
turned
the
the other
saving throw
way.
on the hypnotic pattern?
It's a wisdom 16.
Okay.
And so everyone else's back was turned, and I turned around and saw them, and that's when I cast it.
What does the hypnotic pattern look like?
It is. I mean, I'm so disoriented in this world that I think it looks like the Ouroboros that I wear around my neck. And it just flashes in the sky for a moment, almost like an old camera bulb flash, and it illuminates, and then it disappears.
Out of the 20 crossbowmen who have now marshaled on the other side of the alleyway, only 7 of them are not just entranced by this hypnotic pattern. They've got their crossbows ready to fire, and they just look up, and without even blinking, the rain is actually pouring into their open eyes as their mouths just kind of open, staring at the hypnotic pattern. And the other crossbowmen are looking around, who are not enchanted, very suspicious, and firing at this exact moment.
Ooh.
Can I color spray them? I'm yelling for Briv to open the door and color spray the people shooting.
Is color spray a reaction?
Action. So I mean, we might take the first volley, but
everyone go ahead and make initiative.
Okay.
Make initiative.
Make initiative.
Make the initiative happen.
We make initiative, yes.
We make initiative.
19.
18.
Penelope?
Nat 1 equals 4.
And Keen?
You're trying to make friends with the worm? You're like, hey.
I'm sorry, Keen, what'd you say?
15.
15. And Briv?
21.
Ooh. And all the people that Todd plays.
Mike, who's Todd?
The
That's
true
17.
power in these lands.
17.
Okay. Briv, you're up first.
All right, Briv, Steel Marrow, what do you do?
So I see a few guards are leveling crossbows at us.
Yeah.
There's a door next to me because Freely's begging me to open it.
Yeah.
So where is everyone positioned in the alleyway? Essentially, my intent is I do want to just use my free object interaction to open the door, as long as it's not locked or whatever, to open the door. And then I want to make sure that I am stepping in front of everyone. Like if there's anybody between me and how far away am I from the crossbowman?
You're about 20, 30 feet. So it's pretty like,
okay,
it's gonna be rough when they shoot. There's like nowhere to go. So
okay, so what I am going to do then, if I see that this is like shooting fish in a barrel, basically I am going to open the door. I'm going to say, I'm just going to say, find cover, and then I'm going to rush ahead into the group of crossbowmen. And then I am going to, I'm basically going to not swing my sword. I'm going to just like, essentially like take a deep breath. And then I'm going to force the metal out of my bones into spikes and hit as many of them as I possibly can in front of me.
all right, describe exactly what happens.
So basically the magical metal that normally is my armor is going to, instead of becoming armor, just start to poke out of my pores and start forming spikes. And then I'm just going to send the spikes forward into the group. And then at the end of that, I'm going to pull it back into my body.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll your damage. I'm going to roll the dexterity saving throws.
Yeah. All right.
So you see Briv Steel Marrow kind of run at them for a second, and all of these tiny needle sharp objects just shoot at him.
Cool.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, you've never seen this before. This is highly unusual at best.
Is Briv all right? That's not.
Are any of us all right?
Fair question.
With Hypnotic Pattern, are they knocked out of the trance if they are hit by damage? I assume so.
So they are, yes, if they are damaged or someone else uses an action to shake them out of the stupor.
Okay.
So that is going to do. Hold on, math is hard.
Yeah, understandably so. What is everyone else doing?
Briv opened the door and told us to go inside, correct?
Yeah.
24 points.
Orkira's next.
24 points of damage. Yeah, you see all this strange magical metal that is normally made up Briv Steel Marrow's armor just explode off of him like liquid metal and shoot out and strike. Just you hear just these horrible sounds as they enter into the bodies of several of these Crown's Guard. And then you hear the same pop noise as they leave their bodies and shoot back towards Briv Steel Marrow. Just pop, 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 pop. And they all goes back towards Briv Steel Marrow's skin and absorbs into his skin. And he's now only in a loincloth with absolutely no armor now.
Huzzah!
Half of the crossbowmen fall down dead to the ground. There are about 10 of them left. And the ones who were in the hypnotic pattern, some of them horrifyingly just staring at the hypnotic pattern, and then like one or two takes a bolt into the head and drops to the ground. The others are now out of their stupor, of their hypnotic pattern, and now again readying their crossbows and screaming. What are you doing, everyone?
Are we still? If we're still in initiative, it's me.
Yeah.
Briv, after you do that, are you running back towards the door? Or where are you going?
I mean, I will, but I don't have any movement left.
Yeah.
Okay. What have I made it all the way back down from my chat upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay. I I thought we were trying not to kill anybody. Ah.
So too.
Oh, she's gonna rush up to one of these guardsmen and cast Spare the Dying.
Oh God.
What?
I can't. She can't. She's like, she doesn't know what's going on, and yeah.
I'm not
I
sure
don't-
if we're the best or the worst at this.
I She
You're the
that's
best
okay.
at being all of you.
Yeah, she doesn't know. Oh, jeez.
Okay,
She's gonna run up to Briv, and then she's gonna be like, "Are we fighting or fleeing? What are we doing?"
I
Well,
said
you're-
to flee, woman. I tried to tell thee to get away
I was
from
a
the
little
chaos.
I was a little busy
The
negotiating.
distraction is not working now. If thou art going to just simply run up to my side.
All right, fine. There's nothing I can do about this anyway, and she'll flee.
You're not gonna spare the dying.
No, because I would.
It's your call.
Is there one like right by Briv that I could grab and then go? I could just. It's an action. It's just touch and do, and I've got fast food.
Drive through.
I've got
There's
drive
one
through
that was like
movement, yeah.
uncomfortably close to Briv. One who was like, "I got this. This is gonna be the best. I'm gonna shoot this crossbow bolt right through this dude's skull," and then just he just turned into like just Swiss cheese.
Yeah, I will just like. Briv tells me to run. I'm like, I'll just grab this guy and like poke him with my foot, spare the dying, and I'll flee because I got 50 feet of fly movement, so I should be able
so
to at
you
least get to the
stabilize
door.
that one body.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
is there a specific magical effect that happens when you do spare the dying for you and your faith?
So it is. There's a motion and there's a word, and usually the word is me praying to the phoenix. But in this case, I think Orkira is so frazzled that what she says in Draconic is crap, and she spares the dying, and then she takes back off.
As you do so, again, the same kind of fire magic kind of consumes the body and heals, not the wounds, but life comes back to the body. They're not fully conscious yet at the moment, but you're holding your book of the Phoenix at the same time, and the symbol on that book erupts into flame as well, kind of setting off a glow in the alleyway amidst all of this rain. And yeah, you bring him essentially back to life, or at least you stabilize him.
Yeah, and then
He's never going to be pretty again, but yeah.
neither will any of us. It's okay. And then I will use whatever movement I got left to flee.
None of us are going to get out of this one pretty.
There's a beauty in
excuse
the eye of
me.
the beholder joke
Look
to
at-
be made here, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want any beholders.
I'm
coming
literally
by.
glowing. Come on.
We just got to keep freely pretty, and then it'll all be okay. He's the
Yeah.
face. It's fine.
We have our mission parameters. Yes.
Right. Alyndra, what are you doing?
I'm following Briv and Orkira, if that's the way we're going.
You're not coming up to Briv, right? You're going
Not
in the
directly.
door like Briv
No, I
said,
turned.
find
Orkira
cover.
went into cover, right?
I
Yes, there
turned
we
around
go.
and headed towards the door.
Yeah, I'm heading into cover.
We're
then.
starting a conga line.
Okura basically tried to steal second base and like just tapped it and then like ran the other way and like
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
Bad
we'll-
idea.
We'll get inside, and while we're in there, I will go ahead and bless everyone who gets kind of within the range, who's coming inside.
Okay, as you get inside, you hear crying, and you are in what is apparently a very large shop or a very large library. You're not quite sure because it's a bit dark in there, but you do hear screams inside the building itself, as it seems like the wall is starting to cave a little bit inside that room.
Oh my, it's time to help this person. We'll save the blessed for later. I'm going to go running to try and find where this person is. We're here to help.
Okay, you start running through shelves and bookshelves of books. Freely, it is now your turn.
Is drow light sensitivity a common enough thing that Freely might know that? I mean, he's had an adventurous life, but I'll let you
Yeah,
tell me.
absolutely. You are very aware of all kinds of things having to do with dark elves. Being that you used to be an Illithid a long time ago.
True, that was literally another life.
Yeah.
I am going to cast Blade Ward, so I'll have resistance against weapon damage till next turn. And I'm gonna head towards the door, and I'm just gonna say, Penelope, if you can get rid of the rain, the sunlight will drive the drow back. The sunlight will drive the drow back. And I do run into that house trying to stick to the plan.
There is virtually no sunlight.
No, I mean, because it's raining. But I mean,
yeah.
druids, I know she can do weather things.
That's true.
As I just say that, and I do go. For
All right,
once, trying to stick to the plan.
You bounce in there. Now it's me. All right. We're going to do this, and I'm sorry for what is about to happen. Briv, currently your armor class is now 10, correct?
No.
Because
It's
for
12.
one round after using that, do you have dexterity?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's a
what's your
very agile guy.
Belt.
I'm sorry, I
He's
misjudged
spry.
Briv.
He's very
Mhm.
athletic.
Oof. Well, what is it? What's your AC?
It's actually 13 because I have a cloak of protection.
Cloak and a loincloth.
Loincloth, yeah, right. It's a look.
You are very much the near and present danger, and as you see these Crowns Guard, the few that are still surviving the attack, they're still bleeding. And that blood, the pools of blood are all around these men, mixing with the rain and the cobblestones. They fire all at you because you are clearly the clear and present danger, even though there's a giant purple worm in the distance. They are absolutely sure that you are Kryn operatives at this point. They all fire at you, and you take 23 points of damage after crossbow bolt and crossbow bolt all get shot into your body.
'Tis what I wanted, and I am dangerous.
So you take that amount of damage. They're screaming out heretics, cricks, and other names. And there seems to be a fervor to their concern. Not only are
They called me a
throes
crick?
of war, yeah, they call all of you cricks.
I don't know what that is, but I don't like it.
Certainly doesn't sound good.
This is Briv talking about.
Keen,
Not Adam.
what are you doing?
I am hearing this and seeing my friend get shot. I will try to first understand, was their original intent on the purple worm or on us?
It's definitely unclear because you're in a very unstable situation. Looking at their military pattern, because you are very well conversed in the ways of war, they were clearly responding to the purple worm threat, but now are responding to you. And just the juxtaposition of seeing, Orkira Eldritch somehow flying up and healing somebody on top of a rooftop, and the flames erupting, a giant purple worm being in the distance. It seems very clear that all of you are part of the Kryn dynasty.
I
or
just
the
want to
opposing
clarify
force.
an intention thing real quick because
Absolutely.
as you had said with the crossbows that they had leveled them at us. I just want to clarify that Briv would not have rushed forward like that.
Absolutely. They did lower them at you. They were
got it.
intending
Okay.
to shoot on all of you.
Got it.
Yes. Their assumption was that you are with the Dark Elves.
And through the power of my Death Knight's helm, do I understand what the word crick means?
Ooh. Does comprehend languages translate words? Like
That's
spoken?
exactly
Like
what
slang?
it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. You understand? You don't know necessarily. You sense that as a derogatory term for the enemy. You're not necessarily know what the origins of that. But if you make an intelligence roll,
Could I submit that it is comprehend and not translate language?
Yes,
Do you
yeah.
understand intent?
no, he doesn't necessarily.
All
Well,
right, okay.
he
It's
understands a little
a
bit.
slang.
Well, the intent is clear from how it was said. So,
12 is the intelligence.
then you can add your investigation if you have that as well, or insight.
Nice.
Actually, investigation.
17 in insight.
You did notice in your battle with the Echo Knight, known as Toma, that his armor made a very strange kind of clicking noise as the plates, the almost insect-like plates, were like kind of rubbing up against each other, creating kind of a clicking noise. or a crick noise at the same time with every move that he made with his sword.
They think we are associated with them. I understand. And my friend, will he get shot before he can get to the safety of the inside?
Which friend are you referring to?
Briv.
Quite possibly, yes, because he'll be disengaging.
And is their commander dead or no?
It's kind of hard to tell who their commander was. You're not seeing there is a wizard there, and then they are still up.
Very well. I will misty step to Briv, but closer to the wizard and whomever I believe is the commander. I am in my autumn, and I am with my people and my family. The autumn is about harvest and gathering more. My misty step from the Eladrin will allow me to charm up to 2 people that I misty step near. I will charm this wizard and whomever I believe to be the commander.
What does this look like when you do this? When you erupt when you take misty step and you appear, what happens?
I fold myself into vines into the ground, and they disappear where I'm standing and reappear where they are standing, plentiful with gourds and pumpkins and things of the harvest. I stand out of this, offer them a nice pumpkin, and say, hello, friend.
All right, what do they need to roll?
Pumpkin check.
Charm is against, is it wisdom or charisma?
That's your spellcasting stat.
I don't know what charm. I will find it. But it is against.
Actually, it's wisdom. Mine is a wisdom save, and that is not my stat, so it's wisdom.
It's always charm.
Yeah, it's usually wisdom for
versus 14. Thank you.
And what's the radius?
The 2 closest to me.
One of the crossbowmen is definitely charmed. He suddenly feels unusually relaxed for having so many holes inside of his body and it raining and the sound of battle. And literally, as he's being charmed, far in the distance, you see a fireball streak through the sky and hit a building, and a building explodes into fire. Meanwhile, the soldier is like, "Oh, hello, you seem very nice." As fire slowly erupts behind him as this is happening. However, the wizard, this grizzled wizard with a long white and gray beard, but missing an entire patch from a previous burn, so only half a beard really exists, eyes you coldly with his blue steel eyes, and clearly the enchantment has not worked.
He saved versus gourd.
I look at him. I look at my new friend and I say, these cricks are more insidious than ever. It looks like one has taken the shape of our wizard. Deal with him, shoot him in the face. And I turn to Briv and I usher him out as quickly as possible.
All right, and now it's Penelope Half Pint. What are you doing? Your hair is still flowing back and forth. You are now pretty wet from all the saliva being breathed out of the purple worm. The purple worm is inching back.
I think Penelope would have been in a staring contest with the worm, and then hear Freely say, do something about the rain. Need daylight. And she's gonna look at the sky, and she's, I don't have anything prepared for that. Oh, but wait. And she's going to kind of curl up into a ball, and she goes, be kind, sunshine. And she's going to cast daylight. her point is on the drow, whichever one is closest. She's going to create a point right in front of them or on them, so that they emit the daylight.
What does daylight do?
It basically just creates a 60-foot radius sphere of light that spreads, but it is pure daylight. That's pretty much it. It just creates daylight.
Here comes the
It does no
sun.
damage?
Yeah,
you hear Toma as well as Rasvan, who is now awake, and the other dark elf scream in pain as their eyes are pierced. Their reddish eyes are pierced by this bright sunlight that suddenly erupts through the clouds and shines directly on the spot you are. And in all of Ruxentrum, it's just this massive 200,000 sprawling city, and there are now 2 rays of light in the city shining down through the ring. So they are consumed with light, and they have disadvantage on basically everything. So that
And
is
I
your
will
action.
I will take my move to run into wherever everybody else is running.
Okay, you run in there as well, and
Back to the top.
back to the bottom, which I didn't mention to Orkira.
Oh boy.
So, and the bottom is the wizard. So you see, for Keen, you see the wizard start to say certain kind of incantations and everything else, still eyeing you very suspiciously, and the effect you've clearly had on his own soldiers. And just green fog erupts from his mouth as he speaks these arcane words. This green smoke just fills up the alleyway entirely. It's just like rolling gas.
May I
It starts
have
choking your lungs.
reaction because my Misty Step is a bonus action and I did not actually take an action.
Your action was... I think it's too late for that. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, sorry. I need everyone within that 20-foot cloud. Well, that's going to wait. So, who's next? Back to the top? That's
Back to the top
Briv.
with Briv, yeah.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. As you are surrounded by this green gas and it's like entering your mouth and your nose. However, your armor is now seeping back out of your skin if you wish it to.
Yeah, I'll pull the armor back out. I got a 27 on the Constitution.
That is high. That's a very good roll. You do breathe in a bunch of the gas, and you take 17 points of poison damage.
All right. So around me, I'm assuming there's death. Is there anyone that is actually that I would need to disengage from at this point in time?
The fog is at the same time obscuring the crossbowmen from you. So clearly you have like a bit of a tactical advantage now in the fact that you can like run away.
Okay. So I am going to make it into the cover.
Okay.
And then at the same time, laying on hands on myself as my action.
Yeah, and it's horribly noxious. You feel like the inside of your nose burning and your lungs are on fire at the same time.
So this is how I lay on my hands then. I'm just trying to and I'm just shoving the healing down my throat.
Okay. Sounds about right. And who is next?
That would be me. I'm inside.
You are out of combat for sure. King, you may also run in now, but I need a Constitution saving throw, and you will be out of combat.
24.
Okay, you take 15 points of poison damage.
So looking around, how does everyone look?
Well, everyone looks a little bit rough. You just came out of battle zone. You are now inside the house.
I'm not bloodied any longer.
Okay.
But I'm not. Can she see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming you've all run inside. She's standing there by the door.
Yells and crying inside the building.
I'm immediately, as I get inside, just looking for where that's coming from.
Okay. Alyndra, you have found a child and a man and a woman trying to get a large wooden beam off of their child as the actual stone wall of this building is starting to collapse where the purple worms squished through, and their child is pinned.
Briv's going to immediately, are we still in turn?
No, you're not in combat.
Oh, Briv rushes over and is going to move the beam.
Okay.
I'll go over and help. Yeah.
Okay. Who else is helping with the beam?
I'll help.
The wall is about to fall at this exact same moment.
Briv is trying to position himself in a way where wherever the child is, his back is over the child as much as possible while lifting the beam, and he is just going to move all of the metal to his head and back at that point in time.
To be clear, is the external wall is on the outside where the worm was now?
Yes, and it sounds like a hurricane outside as the purple worm is now retreating from the gas. It sounds like essentially like a giant tank is moving by at this moment because the ground is shaking and all the bookshelves are moving back and forth and books are falling all over the place and stones are starting to fall just because the purple worm is like retracting from the alleyway.
I'm like, you
Do I
guys,
think there's?
Go ahead.
Oh, do I think there's enough stability to last a minute?
No, not on that wall.
I'm like,
that wall is going to fall.
If you get the kid out of here, I can take care of the wall. I'll thunder wave it. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Do we think
Briv just starts saying to Orkira, Orkira, as we move the beam, it may be bad beneath. Be prepared to basically Briv is trying to warn Orkira that if this is moved and it's actually pinning the child, it could be worse when we move it.
Penelope.
Yes.
Can you shift the stone in the wall? Can you stabilize it?
Yes, I can. I actually have that one prepared. Yay.
Some of us don't. We're always prepared.
I mean, yes, I'm always.
Above everything, I am more prepared to drag the child, no matter what the situation, away as soon as she is unpinned.
Right, I need a strength check from anyone who's on the beam.
Is the child injured?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna heal
The
instead.
leg is clearly broken.
Well, I can do both. I can move and heal. I'm gonna cast a healing word on the child, and then let's go ahead and do that second level.
Is this being treated as a help action, like to Briv?
Yeah, it'll be a help action. Who's helping Briv?
I would be right there helping, ready to then.
Can this be athletics?
It can be, absolutely.
Okay.
I will switch with Orkira. Orkira is suited to helping, and I'm better suited to lifting. So
I have foreseen this moment. Briv gets a 19 on the roll.
Okay,
And I will.
Fate
And I'll swap
itself
with Keen.
Seems to strangely, Briv, as you're like reaching down.
As it oft does.
It almost seems like you exactly know how this beam fell and where the pressure is and the exact way to lift this up from the child perfectly. You are being helped by Orkira at the same time, and you easily lift this wooden beam off the child. The child does immediately start bleeding out, but that bleeding out suddenly is stopped by healing word.
How are the parents looking?
Stressed out.
But not about to die, not also
no,
pinned?
covered in dust and a few scrapes and bruises.
Collect thine child, get to safety. We shall help thee.
Thank you so much for your help. We thought we were going to lose her. Thank you so much. We will retreat right away. Thank you.
8 points of healing.
Before they leave, I'm like, wait, hang on. We'll help you get to cover, but I just one question. Who are the good guys here?
Oh no.
You are currently in war. There are no good guys.
No, that's very philosophical, but if you were going to go out there and fight, who would you fight right now?
Anyone who would hurt my daughter.
Valid
Well
answer.
said.
Might I suggest nobody go outside right now because it's kind of a mess, and let's just get away from this wall. And I'll just try to usher them away from the wall. You said this was a library. There were book stacks and everything.
Yes.
So I'm going to try to usher them and everybody away from the wall that has the purple worm and just somewhere more center that might not take
we
damage.
can't stay here though. Those soldiers just saw us come in here. Like they got to be right behind us.
I could cast if we can stabilize the wall. I could cast a hut. They won't be able to get in.
You would be surrounded by soldiers, however.
No, we need to go.
Penelope, what are you doing? You were casting a spell?
I was going to, but it seems like everybody got away okay, so I don't know if I still need to do it.
What's the spell?
I thought you...
Because the wall will come down if someone doesn't stop that.
Oh, okay. Well, then Penelope pulls out 2 little rocks, and she's rub them together, and then she says, "Rock on!" And she casts a wall of stone to help support. the
Oh
rest of
wow! What does your wall of
Huzzah.
stone look like? What happens?
That's cool.
it's basically just like a whole bunch of rocks that come together, and a couple iridescent bismuth rocks and stuff that kind of poke out, because why not, right? And it'll just hold the structure.
Yeah, this massive stone wall just comes up and helps brace the stone wall that was about to fall, and it stabilizes the entire building. Do you want it
Thank
to?
you so
You can also
much.
decide to have it cover up the entrance.
So they can't follow us.
Is there another way out?
There's definitely this feels like a back room entrance. This is an alleyway entrance. So your general knowledge of buildings, which maybe not be great, is that they typically have more than one entrance.
There's always a window, right?
Being a druid, you don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not going to give you 100%.
So buildings are stupid, but
Yeah.
there's lots of ways in and out.
You can shape stone. You can make a door whenever you want.
Yeah, that's true.
That is very true.
I will. Yeah, my wall will do what it needs to do to create a structure and cover the door.
You hear, as you do so, you hear sounds of battle as clearly the soldiers, the Crown's Guard, are still attacking the purple worm and the dark elves outside. But the sounds are very muffled now. There is a giant wall of stone also, and you hear one of the guards. You hear somebody open the door, and this didn't make any sense at all. Where did they go? Who puts a door on a wall?
Are not all doors and walls.
Not all doors are in walls.
True.
That's
We're in
Um,
a strange land. You never know.
I would like to go to the
Walls
front
and
of this shop/home/library, whatever it is. I mean, presumably it's got some sort of windows on the front. And
Yeah.
then see, is there battle in the streets? Are there people running and screaming? Like, what's it look like?
There's definitely some battle in the streets for sure.
We cannot stay here, you guys.
Why? Why are we gonna?
Didn't you see, right over there? But it's and the fireballs, and this place could come down at any second.
But every
Do you
place can
think
come down in any second.
Methinks
think-
we should flee this city
But
until
it's
we
so
understand
big.
more.
How do we get out of here so quickly?
Do we not have any friends in this place? We do not know where we are, and we do not know what side of the war we ought to be on, if at all.
We have
Our friends
three
are in
friends
this
right
building.
here.
I look at the family. I'm like, excuse me. Is there a sewer system here? Is there an underground to this town, city, burg, place?
They may be guarded, and we are leaving at this exact moment. I'm sorry, but we are not staying with you.
No,
Where are
you
you going?
shouldn't.
We
Go.
appreciate your help.
Is there
But we
a
are
safe
going.
place?
Not here, not for us.
Do you
I'm
know
sorry.
from a place we could go? We're
Very
strangers here.
practical.
We
don't
are just
know
going
what's
back to our home.
We are just as dangerous as anything else that has happened to thee. So, yes, thou shouldst flee from us as well.
If any of you have some power to give us cover, so we can get to the other side of the street.
Yes,
Oh,
I can.
Yeah,
So,
let's go.
I can do invisibility on them, but before they go, I'd love to know what sort of shop is this?
This is a library. It's not mine. We
Whose is it?
ran in here to take cover.
Do you know whose library it is?
I do not know their names. No, sorry. It is a bookstore mostly.
Are there any books that seem particularly precious
I-
in times of conflict?
There is
often-
some secret room in the back. Sometimes I see people go.
Let's see if we can save those books, because in times of conflict, often people will destroy the stories of others. in order
Yes,
to maintain their
people
own.
seem to think that those books are of extreme value, and it's very hush hush.
Where
is-
So
where
if
is
there are
that-
valuable
where is that
books in the
storage?
bookstore, they would be back
It is
there.
a good idea to
Where is
save
the
books
storage?
when our lives are in danger.
Can we please? I'm sorry.
Where
I
is
know
the
you've done so much
storage?
for us. Can we leave now?
Please just tell me where the storage is, and then I will give you.
It's all the way in the back. It's in the
Freely
back.
runs for
Can-
it
Can we
when he
please
says
go?
in the back.
I'm gonna go. I'll grab him by the collar before he goes, but I'll cast greater invisibility on. Oh gosh, how many of these do I have? I don't have many. Do I have regular invisibility?
How far across the street? Like when they say across the street, do they literally, are they pointing out a window going that house right there?
Yeah.
I give
or
him
into
my
the next alleyway.
I give the girl the cloak of elvenkind that I have.
Wow.
Wow.
I say, be safe out there.
You get a point of inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
As
I can
Briv
cast
starts to
Hypnotic
see
Pattern in the
this,
center of the street.
as
stop
Briv
anyone.
starts to see this, he's going to try to stay Penelope's hand and say, "No, thou shouldst keep that." And then I say, "I have an idea. I will be right back." And Briv pulls out his bag of holding and says, I just need thee to breathe as little as possible. And I'm going to try to put the three of them in the bag of holding and run them across the street and dump them out.
Briv, I can stop the people.
That is so uber.
I can make them fly.
Everyone needs to come up with a
Alyndra,
plan. I'm not saying it's the worst plan.
if they fly, Alyndra, they shall still be seen and could be targeted
That's
by
true.
the enemies. My plan will allow them to not be seen. And as long as I make it, they shall not die within the next 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, but we do not know you, and we would like not to be put in a bag right now. So if we can just run and you cast invisibility on us.
Can I just do a
Awful
hypnotic
particular
pattern to
for how
stop-
thou art
Oh
to
my
be
gosh.
saved.
Can I just hypnotic pattern the street so they can get across?
You can do that, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's do that instead, and then I want to run to the back room to get the books.
Penelope, do you still give the cloak?
Briv turns.
Oh yeah, she'll
Briv
need
turns. Is there? So it's. Is it a dad and mother?
Yeah.
Okay, so Briv turns to both of them and just gets very close to their face and looks them both in the eye and says, "Thine child could die because thou art making a foolish mistake here." And then Briv just starts to walk back to the secret room.
Don't mind him. It's been a stressful day. And Orkira will walk with Penelope out to the door and watch, make sure that they get across okay.
All right. They get ready to make their run.
Does the little one have the cloak?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
will
have
walk with them. I do not need to be shoved into a little room of books. I will walk with them to make sure they get to where they are going, and I will cover the other two in my cloak of elvenkind with my arms around them.
and I'll have healing word ready in case something goes really wrong.
All right. What's your armor class, TJ?
Oh,
17.
All right, you are running across. The hypnotic pattern is kind of exploding the city streets, and there is like a decrease in screaming and yelling as it's going off. You take a random crossbow bolt or 16 points of damage as a critical hit. You take one like right in the leg, and you get them across to safety.
Very well. That was the entire point.
Are you heading back across the street now?
I will head back after I close the wound on my leg and make sure that it is safe.
Okay, you're making the run?
The limp, but yes.
Well,
Okay.
if I see that he's been hurt, my healing word will go off and I'll heal him.
Okay.
So you get 6 points back.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Kenreck, I just
Yeah.
want to make sure. So the critical hit, was that a 20?
It was a 20.
Okay, so we probably should.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's a 20. So
Hey.
someone in Twitch chat right now has a chance to win a legendary bundle. I'm sorry.
You are
I was so
welcome.
sad and dark. It was so sad and dark.
No, you're right. You're all right.
I didn't feel like
We
a
don't-
win for
We
me.
don't suffer for nothing. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I
Go
bled
in for
for you.
the imperiled children just to win shiny things.
Keen Day of Breath, I need a dexterity saving throw.
It's not bad. That is not bad. Dexterity saving throw is 19.
All right. As you see Keen Day of Breath, now what originally looked like he was about to be limping, but suddenly his leg heals. He takes the bolt out of his leg, and
Oof.
you see Orkira Ildrex kind of chant, and you see these fiery runes are up in the air, and she speaks a word, and I assume Draconic, and the wound immediately heals. And as you see Keen running across the street explodes. A fireball strikes, and cobblestones and dust just smack against the window, and you can no longer see Keen.
Keen!
I'll rush
Run
out
out.
there.
Yes, we're running out.
Yeah.
Keen, you take 33 points of fire damage.
Can I have a reaction to absorb elements?
Yeah, if that's how absorb elements works, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes.
I absorb all that I can very quickly. Doesn't hurt as bad. Very good.
All right. Why are you doing that? Okay.
Are you still-
guys
Are
run
you
out.
still running?
I am limping more heavily than before.
Yes. You see Keen come through the dust and the smoke. You can get to the doorway, Keen.
I am on fire.
Way go.
Parts of Keen are definitely on fire, and he's like just covered in ash.
I have mixed feelings about this, but I'll help you put the fire out.
All right. Who ran into the back of the library?
I did.
You ran in. Okay, you go to what clearly is a kind of sectioned off area of the library, and there's it's clearly a secreted spot, and you see very many tomes in the back. You start to
I will
investigate.
take any.
I would like to
anything I
investigate,
can.
and
I
that
will-
is a natural 20 on my investigation.
Hey!
We're gonna have
So
to
it's a
stop
21
this
total. I'm
insanity.
actually not this that good at investigating, but there you go. Now, and Freely's holding the sword, and he's like, "Yeah, I know. I can't believe that dude ran into all this crossbow. Oh, hey, wow, thanks. Hey, look." Like,
It's been a hard day. So who is where in the library, and what are you doing?
natural 20 on
I'm
my
going to
investigation.
collect all of the books that I can in this. I'll put them in my fanny pack of holding that my mother made me. Because I know I'm well aware that in war often the victor will destroy the stories of the other culture.
Very often.
And it's my responsibility to make sure they are preserved.
Do you
And it is
examine them at
Briv's
all?
responsibility to make sure that no one attacks them and kills them while they're doing these crazy things that they do. And so Briv is just hanging out around
I'm
the door.
sorry.
Is hanging out around the door.
Needle
and
skin.
He's also paying a little too much attention to see like what happened with the family, even though he acted like he was upset with them. He's like kind of looking for Keen and everything, but he's just kind of parked near the door of the secret room.
As the dust clears, you can see in the distance, way distance. So the alleyway is basically like, imagine a street in like Forlorn Sedley, right? Where it just goes on and on and on. You see them in the distance running to safety as the smoke clears. So they were not affected by the fireball. Keen, you have ringing in your ears, and you feel slightly concussed from the blast from the fireball at this moment as well.
I am moving very slowly and carefully. I am well hurt and
Freely,
still on fire.
Freely, what are you doing when you see Alyndra, stuffing these books into the bag of holding?
I got a natural 20 on my investigation, so 21 total.
Okay, so Alyndra, you are very focused on just getting as many of these very precious books in there. Freely, however, you are looking at the books that she's grabbing, and you see many strange titles. Because at first you're like, "Oh, this is a very good thing we are doing. We are saving the culture of this great city." One of the books is Tusk Love, with a strange illustration on the front
Alyndra.
of an orc man holding a human woman.
Oh
in
no.
some sort of embrace of some kind.
That must be saved. It must be saved. You have to save it. Come on.
I'm not here to kink shame these
No,
people, but
I'm not here
maybe
to judge the
like-
literature I'm saving.
What
But I mean,
dost
like,
thou
I-
think
you
is
know,
kinky about this
I'm like
arrangement?
I think the most important information in this room to save right now might be you.
Another one of the books has a all black leather covering golden golden script, and it says Zimian Nights. There's another book that says Where the River Goes.
I just read it for the articles, I promise.
You also see a very long-winded book called the Daring Trials and Tribulations of Sir Taryn Darrington.
That being said,
autobiography.
though, you know, having frequented my own fair share of red light districts across the plains, a lot of times places like this, like speakeasy type places, have even yet another secret way to get in or get out. Do I discover any other passages, any like trap doors, hidden doors, like a way out of this place?
You may begin searching for trap doors. Alyndra, you do notice that it appears that you are stuffing pornography into your bag, as well as a few autobiographies.
Do I see any books that look, if I take a moment, that look important or mythology or
what's mythological?
Depends on thine point of
Tusk
view.
Love is super important. Come on.
Yeah, I feel that Tusk Love is pretty high on the
Tusk Love
importance.
is how Briv happened.
I will make a case that this is all folklore of a society, because it
And
still
Tusk
is the
Love
stories
3
of a
is the
society,
best
even if
series.
it's.
I don't know.
True.
Tusk Love
Tusk Love
2
3.
Electric Boogaloo is really my favorite.
Return of the Tusk.
No, Tusk
Yeah.
Love 7 is when it really came to life, honestly. No.
But it all fell apart at Tusk
The
Love
fourth
11.
book in the
mean,
series
they
is
I
just
heard
way
they
after this.
brought Han back for
Yeah.
Tusk Love
The
9.
fourth book, and you do find the fourth book in the series. It's called Tusk Musk, and
Oh my goodness.
That is where Briv came from.
That's a collector's item.
That's what Grip's doing right now.
you do find a book that seems seemingly important. It's called In the Belly of Dragons.
I will take that book.
And yeah, so you find several books, but mainly you find books. Penelope Halfpint, what are you doing right now? I'm very
there's one
concerned
other
about
thing.
what you're up to.
Penelope would be sticking next to Keen. So has Keen gone back to this room?
Yeah, Keen, have you gone back to the sexy room?
I will sit down. I will take as much rest as I can close
Yeah.
to the entrance because I am hurt.
I
I
would
was-
be casting wounds on him.
Okay, not casting.
Like
wounds.
casting
Yeah,
wounds.
right.
I'm casting wounds on him.
Wow.
I afflict thee with wounds.
Just
Dude.
one
Been
like
waiting for
alone
this
elder
moment her
priest
whole life.
comes out of the bag and shoots Penelope. No! You know?
She got used to being so epic with wounds with the wall of thorns. She's just like, wounds for everybody.
You know what? I'm just
Sure
gonna kill
wounds.
this guy.
That's true. If not now,
My
when?
best friend.
That's the long con, yeah.
If I see Penelope doing that, I will continue to stand by the door and just keep an eye out while
Okay.
she tends to Keen.
Yeah, Alyndra, you continue to find some books that aren't even books. They just have very sexy drawings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to look for, and this is now going to sound really creepy, but is children's books, is fairy tales. Yeah, I know.
Not in this
it's-
section, but you do
there's
find
no, there's no
children's
polite
books.
way to do that.
Nowhere
Yeah,
near here.
you go to a completely different side of the store, and you do find
Way on the
children's
side.
books.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab kind of a collection of, what looks like a collection of local fairy tales, and then if Freely finds a room that looks like it's like a hidden room, I will take a look there.
Freely, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
You don't know
Can
how
I throw
many
a
times.
detect magic up as well, just to see if anything is pinging here, any spell books or magical goodies?
There is, there's a dim glow in the distance actually as you're casting to detect magic, because there are a few spell books in here.
I'd love to grab those as well, please.
Spell
What's
books
interesting
in
is-
here?
And many of this, no. What's interesting about them is that many of these are fake spell books. These aren't real spells, but on occasion they get one right. So
Okay.
clearly these have been, written and copied, and then it just happens that one or two of these spells is actually a real spell.
Mhm.
So this is not a reputable dealer of magical weapons.
So
or magical spells.
Augmites have a code with maps, and I'm going to assume that it translates to books as well. I'm going to just take the pages that are actual spells, and for the other books, I'm going to destroy those, because with maps, Augmites will only provide the most accurate map possible.
Okay.
And so they only provide and share accurate information like that. So I would assume with spell books it would be the same. I wouldn't want misinformation being spread.
Okay, you do so.
Do we have an opportunity, since we are in a bookstore, to look for, just perusing, because I'm not getting up and actively doing this, but if I can find the history, a brief history of this city or this land?
Oh yeah, you can find a map. You find a bit, essentially what is an atlas.
I will grab that, I think, or if somebody could grab it for me.
Yeah, just point me. When I talked to the drow, he said that we were in a city called Rexentrum in the Dwendalian Empire. Does that sound familiar at all?
Sounds made up.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a thing.
Well, that's what he said, and they were in the middle of attacking it, so I assume that's the name of this place.
Look for the maps and history of Rexentrum in the Dwendalian Empire.
Why would you call your empire dwindling? That just seems like made up drow stuff.
Just by a cursory glance, the Dwendalians are not dark elves. You are in the Dwendalian Empire right now.
Oh no, I mean like the dark elves are saying that is shade on these people, saying their empire is dwindling.
Right.
I am simply going to state the obvious that any book found in this city will be heavily biased and probably not be an accurate account.
Nah, Tusk must seem
Is why
pretty
I
accurate.
do not read books in the first place. Only comic books.
There's pictures.
Oh, I'm not talking about the special room. I'm talking about looking for any kind of accurate history of this place. 'Tis always written by the victors, and so therefore we will get bias. And that's all
And
we shall
that's
see.
why you learn from that, and then you fill in the other information.
Or you just live thine life and see for thine self.
Do I have any luck trying to
Then how
find
do you
another way
learn
out
the
of here?
past?
What'd you roll?
Use a 15, looking for a way out.
You don't find any secret passages.
Okay, so we either drop the wall and go back out the alley, or we go out the street into the war zone. But again, we can't stay here.
Why?
Because it's a war zone.
But outside is also a war zone. It's a really big, huge, massive war zone everywhere.
They saw Keen run in here. They saw us run in here. This isn't safe.
Those
We
other
shall
people
be
said
found
we
out.
should get out of the city, like completely.
Penelope, you took a flight. Did you see where we should go?
No, it's just a really big city. It just seems to go on really far.
They said that the sewers would be guarded.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean,
How much do we believe that?
Why would
they're
they
gonna
lie?
be less guards than the street, I think.
I
I mean,
don't
those
know.
dark
They
elves
wouldn't
came
get
out of the
the bag of holding.
ground. Remember, the
Like
dark
they're-
elves came out of the ground. Oh, the dark elves came out of the ground.
Penelope, did you at least see like a bigger building we could go hide in or something while you were flying up there?
DM, did I maybe catch something while we were up there?
You saw another ray of light in the distance, actually, where the sun was breaking.
Well, we should go to there. We should go to the other one. There might be another druid who could help us or something.
Does not that seem like a place of war?
Doesn't this whole city seem like a place of war?
They're fighting over the important bits. Perhaps we should go to the outskirts. It is unfortunate, but many do not care about the poor. They are fighting to gain the center of the city, not the outside.
The walls of this building, what do they look like they're made out of?
Just stone and mortar.
I mean, like, so these almost seem like row houses.
Yeah.
Do I feel like if I went to the innermost wall and hit it with my thunder wave, it would break into the next building? Like we could go through the buildings instead of through the street?
You feel like if you did it, you might knock yourself back 10 feet.
Or thou canst use this thunder wave and save thine spells.
I mean, I'm fine. We can run for it outside. We can go through the buildings. We can't stay here. Too many people know we're in here.
I vote Operation Rhinoceros.
Let's give it a shot, brother. I'm with you. Woo!
I do have that cube.
What?
The cube we obtained that has plane shift and gate.
Do we not have a
Oh, I thought you
portable
meant
hole
that
somewhere?
Me6 thing. I was like, no, not
Wait,
that thing.
we actually have that?
We have a portable hole from somewhere, do we not?
We have that as well.
Can you put it on the wall? Does it work like that?
Ooh.
I can. We'll go into space and
No.
be there.
Yeah, it's not a hole. It doesn't
Oh,
make a
that's not
window.
very
It makes
useful.
a.
Feel
it makes
deeply
space.
misled
Bubble.
about the. Yeah.
It's really a portable pocket.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to
What
go investigate the light.
What does this cube do?
The cube allows us to travel in space. It's
Like
Is that
in
what
this
got
city,
us
like we
here?
could just be across the town.
yes.
Which way did that
Well, it opens.
oddball man
opens a
speak
gate
off to?
across
And
the
thou art just bringing
plains.
this up right now, Alyndra?
It's been a busy
No, I
morning.
raised it earlier, but no one was listening to me.
We were sort of like fighting for our lives and screaming and running.
And
If you think you can get us across town, let's do it. Do Alyndra stuff. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
I do pull my sword out.
So
If the cube does not work, I still vote Operation Rhinoceros.
I think it's a
Well,
great idea.
it might take us to a different plane of existence.
Oh,
It's got to be
So-
better than this terrible
That's
place.
what you'd like to do?
No, there are people here who need us.
Why do we not follow that slim man that snuck away? He seems to know how to survive.
well, he was like on the other side of the, like, there was that square and we saw those like weird people running by. Like, that guy's like the other side, like 2 blocks from here.
Also, he
Isn't-
stole something from us, and so I don't know if we really want to follow him.
What? He stole something from you?
Yeah, it's a
Well,
long
we
story.
gotta go get him.
Yeah, but we don't know where he is.
Oh, valid.
We
Now,
know
no,
how
Briv.
he went.
If
Briv,
you
let's
want
see if we can knock down this wall while she's doing box stuff.
Briv forms some metal out around his head
Oh,
into kind of like
no.
a spike.
Oh god.
Gonna bring this whole place down on us.
I was like, I'm a little tired right now, but I'm just gonna like still say good hustle. I believe in you, buddy.
I can't make any more stone walls.
Okay. We shall not do Operation Rhinoceros unless everyone is in agreement.
Aw.
I
we
think
ever
we should
all in
leave
agreement?
this building away from the greatest portion of war.
Then let's get out of here.
Penelope, if you want to go see what the Column of Light is about, I'm always for going to see about Columns of Light.
I thought that was straight into the war.
Everywhere is straight into the war, I
But
think.
we can
hang on.
fly.
Curveball, Penelope. I know you turned into a giant eagle, but
Yeah.
can you turn into a small eagle, just like a normal bird that no one would notice?
I think so, yeah.
I
can do
have a
that.
thought.
Well, because if she can turn into a bird, go check it out. I can share senses. I can tell everybody what she's seeing. At least we'll know what we're up against.
I think we should just all go together. I don't want to be apart from everybody.
Yeah, let's definitely not split up.
I can stick all of thee in my bag of holding.
Again with the bag of holding.
Thou couldst breathe. There are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Briv, you know I'm allergic to being in bags.
I have large lungs for a halfling.
I know that the first person to die in this game is going to be because of Briv's idea to stick them in the bag of holding. Because he's going to
Forget about us, like
them.
get knocked unconscious, and then we're all
It's
just
going
in
to be
there.
the darkest timeline.
I have an idea,
Yes.
and I don't know if this is something, Penelope, you would want to do, but when you transform, the things you're carrying change with you, yes?
Yeah.
So if we were to go into the portable hole and you were to carry it, you could carry us potentially. Could you not?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
The portable
crazy, I'm
hole.
for it. Let's do it.
I want everyone to give Alyndra the looks that thou always givest me about going into the bag of holding, because it still has the same breathing requirements.
No, but her
I am.
accent makes it sound smart. No, let's do it. Come on. Oh, let's go. Yeah.
Mechanical question. If we have bags of holding and we go into a portable hole, we're not using it to actively
Briv will not give up my
open the thing.
What have
then.
you done,
Is-
We're
Todd?
is that-
we're
is
just
that
two
what have you
episodes.
done?
We're just 2 episodes in, and they're
Are
already
we in
trying
a
to break my
kaboom
soul.
situation
We're
or
gonna,
not?
we're gonna destroy
If
the
we
world.
are,
That's it. Mission
All right.
And
accomplished.
if we won't do that,
So nope,
but
nope. Are you
None of
trying to
this
put a
bag
portable hole
nonsense.
inside of a bag of holding?
But not
No.
on purpose, like a closed bag of
I'm trying
holding
to put
inside.
a person who has a bag of holding inside a portable hole.
That
bag would be
shall rip
closed.
the very fabric of time.
Okay,
will.
so just let me
And
know if you try.
space.
Perhaps it's not the best idea.
You don't know.
Look, okay,
Might be the best
okay.
idea.
So
I mean, I'm pretty smart, so
we've done this
perhaps
thing.
maybe not.
We've done
What's
this
the
thing
thought?
before. Okay, so Orkira
I could
can
have
fly.
Griff
I
carry
can
out, yeah?
fly.
Griff could fly above.
While we are all talking, I will go out to the street and make sure that there's not an army marching down it or a purple worm about to crush this building.
You just got exploded and you're gonna go back out there?
I
He's a
must.
hero.
We cannot be blind.
I agree. I shall accompany Keen.
Well, I guess we're walking then. Let's just run the same way the family went.
What do we
If
see?
were
Just
to
to
give
have a look.
When you peek your head out, you hear the ringing of all of the bells in Rexentrum, alerting everyone to war. And you've spent some time now in the library discussing and looking at nudie books. So some time has gone by, and then you hear the bells stop to ring. All of a
Hey,
sudden, all over the city.
Alert all
They
of them.
killed the bell ringers.
What does it mean?
Do we hear any more explosions?
Sounds like the explosions have also silenced.
They killed all the spellcasters.
Maybe we don't need to run?
Wait, what?
I
They
just
killed-
stealth outside.
Is that what it means? Is that what the bells mean?
You
I-
still hear the occasional sound of like screams and explosions, but it seems to be dying off.
I stealth and go outside.
Okay.
I do cross the street roughly where the family went and just sort of look around as I'm sneaking out.
Go ahead and make me a roll.
That's a 28.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
You,
like a ghost.
you just hop from barrel to barrel.
Yeah. But I'd like a cardboard box that I crawl and then
Yeah.
and
Boing.
then I crawl and then
You
I
find
stop.
a very big atlas and you turtle inside of that. You crawl across the street.
If I see anyone with an exclam appear over their head, I stop.
Okay.
And then I keep them within I keep them within visual range because I can message if I see something. So I just come out and look around.
You get across the street and you look around. You don't think you see anything right away. Make a perception check.
That is 19.
You look up into one of the higher places. You're looking around, and then you see the glint of something from one of the buildings high up in the distance.
Can I make out what it is?
You think you see a dark elf in the window.
How close relative to where we are?
About 2 blocks.
Is it Toma or
No,
Rasvan?
it doesn't appear to be Toma or Rasvan.
I message probably Keen, and I'm like, Dark Elves, 2 blocks. I'm gonna try and get a closer look. And I
Dark
do.
Elves, 2 blocks. He's going to go get a closer look.
And I do keep sneaky though.
No, we
Tis
should
the
help
assassin
him.
of the bell ringer.
Yep. I go.
All right. What's everyone doing?
Wait, who's getting a? Wait, did he sneak
Keen,
off?
Is Freely just going
He's
by
out
himself?
scouting.
Yeah.
Yes, he is safest alone when he is undercover.
Dost he not know that thou shouldst never split thy
split
party?
the party.
Mhm.
Never.
Keen, are you going up into the building?
Going up to the building he just told me about.
I do my best to like recount. Like I mean, I don't try
Yeah,
to be vague. I'm like.
So Keen's heading towards the building. Is Freely heading towards the building as well?
I think reverse that. Freely's definitely heading towards the building.
Okay.
Is-
All right.
Briv
So
is
you-
heading out of the building, and he pulls back in all his metal where he is naked except for the loincloth, and he is just going to kind of try to adopt the guise of loudly drunk, and he's just walking out.
Roll me a deception check.
Yeah.
Shall be good. I am so skilled in the art of deception.
I believe in you.
Tis an 18.
Yeah. Your method just knock one back real quick. If I
He
had any more
takes-
inspiration
It's
to
rough
give, that
going
would do
back
it.
down.
You hear this, and there's 4 darts strike directly into Briv Stillmarrow's chest.
Oh.
You take 17 points of force damage from magic missile
Oh no.
at distance.
Do I see where it came from?
Yeah,
Or
you
do
see
I-
the
or
building.
do I?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
the building
yeah.
was-
It's like a tracer. Do you just hear this?
Okay.
The same building?
Yes.
Okay. How much damage did you say?
17 force
Okay.
damage.
I
Brim, come
after
back
that
inside, Brim, come
I
back inside.
dropped pretenses, but I'm trying to say how far did I make it out before? I'm basically trying to decide if I am going to
Right
take
when
cover.
right when you walked out, you got hit.
Okay.
Heal
So
box.
I am going to spin. I'm just gonna make a gesture up in the direction of where that was, and then I'm gonna twirl back into the building. And then I'm just going to simply say, we have to make it to the building because I have someone that I am going to kill.
Freely, you're already in the building.
Do I see those magic missiles go off out of the window?
Yeah, you hear them.
But do it like, I mean, do I like see where the person is?
Yeah, you see
'Cause
you
just-
know they're on the 3rd floor.
Just before I enter, so I'm trying like right at the base of the building.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation, a shower of sparks in front of the window to
Okay.
distract them if they want to try and. I mean, but I'm trying like wow, boom, and then
All right,
run in.
The entire window lights up.
So hopefully you guys have a split second there. I'm like pow, and then I run in.
All right. Are you doing the dash action? Are you going up the stairs?
I'm still trying to be sneaky. So
okay, go ahead and roll your stealth.
Okay,
What's everyone else doing?
that's a 30. I'm good at like 2 things, and sneaky is one of them.
You're just parkouring up the stairs,
Yeah, I'm like,
like no sound. It's like
Yep.
watching a spider with like the audio turned off on a movie, just jumping up the stairs. You just get to the 3rd floor, and you see this dark elf with some kind of rod or staff, looking intently on the street, waiting for someone to come out of the building.
Without poking my head around the corner, because I don't want to like look at him or give him a clear shot or anything. I just say, I'm not your enemy, okay? I don't want to fight you. I have no idea what's going on here. I just want to talk, please. But I mean, like from like behind, I'm like, ew.
Roll initiative.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will throw hands with this dude. I just want the record to show. I didn't start it. That is 17.
Got 19.
Everybody or just you and him?
Oh.
Just you and him.
All right.
I mean, let's do it then, brother. Although you guys should know clearly where I am. You got a shower of sparkles. Yeah, my ancestral side.
Did we see
He,
that? Did we see the prestidigitation
Yeah,
go
you saw
off?
the prestidigitation. Apparently, I can't say that word, so that's
It's a
marking
hard
against me as a
word.
dungeon master. The dark elf just whips out his hand, and a blade just forms made out of pure shadow, and he stabs at you. What is your armor class? Ooh. No.
Not enough is what you're telling me my armor class is?
I'm making a rough guess.
16.
All right. He thrusts the shadow blade immediately into the upper meaty part of your shoulder, and you take 11 points of psychic damage.
Better than the lower meaty portion of your shoulder.
Freely's in trouble. Also,
And he's just on top of you. Like he's just getting ready for another stab.
and were you anywhere near that window?
Oh God. Yes, you were right next to the window.
Hand to God. Natural 20.
All right, someone just won a legendary bundle in Twitch chat. You got a chance to win.
Athletics, push him out the window. I said I wanted to talk.
And you rolled a 20 on it?
I rolled a 20. That's actually 25 for me.
Wow.
Wow. You, this tiny half elf with a shadow blade in your neck, just rush. I just want to attack. And you push this dark elf, who is very top heavy comparatively to you. You're pretty much just shoving on their pelvis, and you push them right through the semi-stained glass window that's broken, and the dark elf just falls down 3 stories.
Whoa.
You get your shoulder right at his hip joint, your hand behind his knees, and boom.
It is all about leverage.
And he is most
Unreal.
definitely crushed by massive damage. He falls down to his death. You hear the
I
sickening crack.
search. What else was in here? Did he have anything? Did he have like a bag, a map, command, or anything?
He had a sending stone. He had several vials of alchemist fire.
Gather it all up.
He had a vial of some kind of poison. When you whiff it, something's very wrong.
Mm.
Maybe a final solution.
Do I see any of my friends from where? Because he could see them. The magic. Do I?
Yeah, you can see the door, the entrance.
But do I see any of them?
None of them are out.
Okay, I wait for one of them. Well, I'm watching the street. The first time I send one of them, I message them.
Okay.
What happened?
Do we hear the body?
Yeah, you hear a thud.
Briv, I don't think you need to worry about the guy you wanted to kill anymore.
Curse you freely. I shall
send.
take one of thine in the future. And I yell that at the top of my lungs. I hope he hears it. Just rings throughout the town.
What is
I'll
everyone doing?
send Griff out to take a look. So Griff flies off my shoulder and goes outside to look, see what happened.
Sharing vision with your familiar, you see there's smoke and fire around the city, but all the purple worms are gone. There's still holes in the ground, but apparently it appears that the battle has suddenly abruptly ended.
The worms have fled.
You see from on that vantage point, you see massive casualties to the Crown's Guard, the men who are in, have brass-colored scale mail and red shirts. So the defenders of the city took the brunt of the damage easily by whatever these warriors were.
Do I see many drow?
None.
What do you see?
I see the worms have fled. I see none of the elves. I see bodies everywhere of the Crown's Guard defenders.
Do you see another beacon of light somewhere?
You do see that.
Yes, there is one.
Is it daytime?
It's rainy.
It is not daytime. The rain is lessening a bit.
It is night.
No, I mean, it is daytime. Sorry. The daylight is not spilling out.
The drow attacked during the day by choice.
Yes, but during heavy cover, they were not being affected by daylight because of how thick the cloud cover was in the rain.
Interesting. They are better organized than that. They must be hard pressed to attack at such a time.
We should probably go check on Freely.
It's so strange, yeah.
Can we go see the light now? Is it safe?
I suppose so.
I don't know if it's safe, but it's somewhere to go. We should probably at least find out what's going on with Freely.
I will send Griff over toward where Freely was, and if I see Freely, I will message him about what has happened. Please come back.
Are you sure? Right now, I got the high ground. I can cover you guys.
You should be with us.
All right.
I will look in the back alley for one of the fallen soldiers in bronze.
Okay, you do find one.
I will, if we are to go towards this place, carry one of these fallen soldiers. They should know that we are not enemies by carrying the soldiers back to them to be properly buried. If we just walk towards these people through their city streets, they could misconstrue us as enemy, and I do not know what the enemy looks like.
Do you all begin heading towards the light in the distance?
On my way out of the building, I
Yeah.
search the drow to see if there was anything on his person. I do collect those effects, but I see if there was anything
That's
else
all that
on
you
him.
find. Yeah.
Okay. I turn all of that over to Alyndra. I just walk up and I'm holding it and I'm like, I tried to talk to him first. I really did. And just kind of like an arm full of like stones, sending stone and vials. And I'm like,
Yeah, all of which probably shouldn't be handed over to all at once. In a
I
large
don't know
quantity.
that.
Yeah.
I'm a halfling of action. He very much is like, yeah, this is what he had, and this poison, I think he didn't intend to be taken alive. So
Oh, he wasn't going to be alive anyway. What thou didst was a mercy.
We should perhaps
Freely
talk
is
to the
also
person on
very
the other side.
Freely is very clearly very injured. Like, not only is he stabbed from that, I mean, he's still beat up from like the day. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
All right,
but no, let's go towards the light. Go towards the light. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. No, I'm fine. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, you're fine. You're
What
super
do we
fine.
expect to find at this light?
Not darkness.
Don't know,
The
but
last vial was a poison. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Freely,
ki-
I will. As you're talking about being fine, I'm like, yeah, you're fine. I'll drop
I'm good.
I'll drop a 4th level cure wounds on you.
ooh,
Yeah, I'm run low on stuff though, so
Again, I'm out of everything, but yes, like, yeah.
oh,
Could
that's why you
we-
shoved him out a window.
Should we
You see, at
take
this
a
point-
short rest before we go towards this light? We
You
are
can.
not prepared for much more.
I will sing my song of
We
rest.
can take a day.
what are we doing?
Well,
is
not a-
long
not a
rest.
day.
I
I do
can.
not know if we have a day, but a short rest would be
We'll take
wise.
a few moments.
Yeah.
Are we
Some
taking?
time.
Yeah, are we taking an hour? Because if we are, then I'll hold off on the cure wounds and I'll just do, we'll do other
Standard
things.
healing.
Yep. I will sing my song of rest, so anybody that spends hit dice to heal will get an extra d6.
Oh,
Thank you.
Penelope will be sitting in the corner then, and she sits there for about 10 minutes, and she's just like, "Mana, do, 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 do. Mana, do, 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 do." And after 10 minutes, she just says, "Be excellent to each other." And she casts Skywrite, and in the sky where the dark clouds are, you see these bright white clouds that spell out, "Be excellent to each other" above the city.
Okay.
Very on brand.
That's the thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
When
There
that's
are
done,
people. There are people in the streets recovering, looking up once in a while, just being. Did the dark elves do this just to be just to be
No.
mean? This is a horrible. This is a horrible cruelty to say after you've just invaded one city.
Orkira will plunk down next to Penelope
big
while
catty
she's
for the drow.
while she's doing this, and like drape a wing over like it's a cloak because she's missing her cloak now, and say, "That's kind of nice. It's the first nice thing I think I've seen since I've been here."
All right, everyone gets a short rest. Do you start heading towards the light has faded, but you know where the location was.
On that rest, can I read some of the books that I picked up? Probably I'd start with the fairy tales or the local history.
You can. You're not divining necessarily enough information in 10 minutes to know much about the city.
Okay. Wait, are we taking 10 or are we taking an hour?
Even in an hour, it will take some
Okay.
time to like absorb it.
Okay. Yeah, just anything I can glean from the books about what this conflict is.
You
started it,
definitely
why it's
glean that there is the dwindling empire, which is right up against an area called Zorhaus, which is the Kryn dynasty, and that relations have never been overly positive and extremely tense. You do sense a bit of dislike for more what some would call monstrous races, orcs, goblins, gnolls, these sorts of things are regarded as hostile creatures and not incredibly welcome in the Dwendalian Empire.
I shall show them hostility.
Perhaps that's not the best solution here, Briv.
All right. Is everyone moving?
Yep, towards the light.
Right. As you move through the city streets and you are able to actually move, you get the odds. You get several strange looks, specifically pointed at Orkira Eldritch, this dragonborn that has wings. But most people are busy, like soldiers are bandaging each other. Some of the dead are being carried away in barrels or lined out. For about every 10 to 20 of the Crown's Guard, you see maybe one dead dark elf. Or two at most. Whatever these troops are highly trained and effective. And given what you saw from Toma, in the possession of very unique magics.
And
you make
purple
yourself
worms.
Yeah, and purple worms. You, after moving eastward through this ward, you eventually get to a large cathedral-like building with several broken stained glass windows. And you, Orkira, notice immediately that this is a cathedral to Pelor.
Oh. All right.
Wasn't that thine old god?
Yeah.
We should wear
He's a
that
nice
symbol.
guy. I'm sorry,
Is
what?
this like running into an X?
A little bit, yeah. It's a
I
little
sure
awkward.
hoping a lightning bolt from this storm is going to hurt a lot.
No, we parted on good terms. It's okay.
They
And you
always say that, don't they?
You see body after body being carried out of clergymen
Oh, divine sense.
from the temple.
Well, thou couldst get a job, Orkira.
Briv, come on. They're not
Don't-
even cold yet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the soldiers look over to you the moment
Inside-
you say that.
Inside words.
I do divine sense. So celestials, fiends, undead.
You you don't sense any of those things alive, but you do actually see dead demons. That have
Demon
been
demons.
summoned. Demons that are dead and being hauled away. As well as a lot of dead people. Like something big outside this cathedral just destroyed what looked like they're not robes of Pelor, but they're certainly cultists.
Do I see any living clergy looking person?
Not one. You see several of the Crown's Guard investigating.
I go in.
The entire cathedral is busy with
I don't
people.
even try and stealth. I just try and run in because I'm fast.
Oh god.
Halfling nimbleness, yes.
Having nimbleness, I'm like, whoop. I'm just looking for a living
At first,
clergy.
you were largely ignored by the Crown's Guard, but there are several other investigators, and yes, there's tons of death. There's demon ichor everywhere inside the cathedral, and most everyone is ignoring you.
Mhm.
You said that there doesn't seem to be any alive clergy,
Yes.
actual clergy. It's been a very long time, but I think Orkira would remember the basic rites that they would want. So I think unless she's stopped, she will start to do some basic Pelor specific rites.
They shall definitely want to hire thee after that.
Briv, I'm already. Thanks, I appreciate it. It's fine. And I will just kind of quietly, kind of awkwardly, because this isn't my god anymore, but she will respectfully start doing some basic rites over the bodies of those that she sees are clergy for Pelor, and so she knows that that's probably what they'd want.
I think Alyndra will also help as best she can.
Dost thou need mine help?
I think we can manage, Briv. Thank you.
I can
Why
carry
don't you
bodies.
go?
I shall go investigate
like a-
the demon ichor. And Briv starts walking off.
Sure.
And Orkira will pause for a second as Briv walks in and look over at Alyndra and say, he's going to eat it.
He's definitely going to eat it.
I
I
got
am
one
going
lesser
to eat it.
restoration. I got one lesser restoration left, and that's it. And she'll go back to doing what she's doing because she can't stop him.
As you are walking towards the cathedral, you have become aware that you are surrounded by. Not surrounded. There are just a lot of troops everywhere, because this has been a point of a very messy, very dangerous battle. So maybe 50 plus Crown's Guard are scattered around the cathedral, and other clearly important people investigating that you don't recognize, a similarity in their armor. But then you hear a yell. That's her. She's the one. That's the heathen that I saw. And you hear the clicking of crossbows and the drawing of swords, and everyone is staring at Orkira. She's with one of the ones that worships a false god. That's the one.
False? What are you talking about?
She is literally performing rites.
Put your
of
weapons
thine church.
down immediately. Now.
They're talking to me?
Yeah, they're talking to all of you.
I don't have any weapons. I will continue to do my rites.
There's nothing false about Orkira.
Put your weapons down. And all the
sheath my
soldiers
weapons.
raise their crossbows.
I was inside the cathedral.
You are still inside the cathedral.
I hide. Yeah, but I'm like just watching. You know what I mean? I'm like,
I'll need a stealth check from you.
She's putting them to rest.
So to recap with the scenario that you are currently in, there are about 50 to 60 Crown's Guard in this square that is next to a cathedral palor where all of the clergy have died. And Orkira has just been identified as a heathen priest. And all of the crossbows that are available are being pointed towards all of the heroes at this moment. And slowly the soldiers are forming a circle around all of you, except for Freely, who is currently hiding underneath a pew inside the cathedral, probably knee-deep in Demon Ichor at this very moment. And that is where we're going to leave off our adventure, everyone. Thank you so much for watching Beyond Heroes, episode 2 of Wildemount. I have to thank the wonderful cast. B. Dave Walters playing Freely the Halfling, Lauren Urban playing Orkira Eldritch, who is going to have a very rough time in Wildemount. Hope LaVelle playing Penelope Halfmind, Adam Bradford playing Briv Steelmarrow, TJ Storm playing Keen Deapreth, and I'm not sure, did I miss anyone? I didn't miss
Miss Alyndra.
Jen. Oh, yes, I'm looking right at Jen, so I'm not thinking about Jen. Jen Kretchmer playing Alyndra Sarrbarand. Thank you so much for watching the show. If you're interested in running your own adventure in Wildemount, it's available for pre-order right now on dndbeyond.com. There's the major, it's the source material I'm using to run this adventure in the first place. It is an excellent book. It's absolutely amazing. If you want like a deep dive into Critical Role lore and the setting of Alexandria, it's amazing. It's also like the thickest D&D book. So it's going to be a nice long read. It's going to be awesome. So thank you all for watching. Do we have any other announcements that we need to know about? We had some great fan art. Thank you so much. Be sure to tag us when you make fan art, and we will show it on the live stream as well.
It's gonna be fun.
My only question is there a Furbolg inside named Pumat Soul that we see who seems to be okay? That's all I want to know.
I'm not saying
never
there
know.
isn't, but there is. Yeah.
Orkira has no idea who that is. Lauren's a little curious.
Can I just say one small thing? Issue 5, the conclusion of my official D&D comic, Dungeons and Dragons: A Dark and Wish, is on newsstands today. So get it at your local comic shop. Enjoy. We love making it. So
awesome. Fantastic. All right. I think that's it. We'll see you next Wednesday, everyone. And, well, don't forget about Critical Role on Thursday. If you're not doing that, then you're very strange.
That's
Have a
the
great
whole
day,
thing.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.